Oi, Canberra's cooked, mate. And if you think the Prime Minister's got any bloody clue what he's doing, you've been sniffing the wrong gum leaves. Anthony Albanese just put on one of the slipperiest, most cringeworthy performances we've seen at a media conference, dodging questions like a bloke running from a pub brawl. If this is leadership, then I'm the Queen of bloody England. Before we dive headfirst into this political train wreck, where the Liberal campaign's stalling, Albanese is losing steam, and even the Pope's death is part of the chaos. Smash that like button like it's the last shred of integrity in Canberra. Subscribe if you're ready for the kind of truth Sky News won't touch. And don't forget to grab the brand new Make Albo Great Again shirt. Just $16 for the next 48 hours. Wear it loud when the whole system finally collapses. Now let's talk about this circus of a media conference. Albanese comes out all puffed up with Treasurer Jim Chalmers, trying to pretend they've just handed the keys to financial salvation. They whack down their so-called costings and then look around like they've just walked on water. Mate, you released them 12 bloody hours ago. Pull the other one, it plays Waltzing Matilda. Asking the libs, where's your costings? When you barely just scraped yours together. That's like rocking up to a Barbie late and whinging there's no snags left. You had all campaign to sort this out. And then there's the biggest rort of the lot. Labor reckons they're going to save $7 billion by cutting down on consultants without losing a single job. Are you joking? $7 billion, mate. That's not just a few bean counters and clipboard warriors. That's a bloody army of consultants. You reckon you're going to gut that many contracts and not see one redundancy? I've seen more believable stories down the local tab. If you believe that, I've got a harbour bridge to sell you. The journos weren't letting him off the hook either, which was bloody beautiful to watch. Andrew Probyn and Mark Riley came at him like a couple of blue heelers chasing a stray sheep, asking how this adds up. And what does Albo do? Mate, he pivoted so hard he nearly corkscrewed himself into the dirt. Wouldn't touch the real question with a 10-foot pole. Instead, he starts waffling about the libs cuts, dodging faster than a drunk tradie at knockoff time. Then came the real kicker. Trudy McIntosh drops a perler of a question, asking how in the hell Labor managed to turn around $50 billion in 6 weeks. 50 billion, folks. That's not finding some loose change down the back of the couch. That's not even winning the bloody lotto. That's like finding a diamond mine in your backyard overnight. And what does Albo do? Dead set silence. Might as well have started whistling the national anthem for how much he answered that one. It's a bloody insult to every Aussie who actually pays tax and expects some level of honesty from these muppets. And don't think the libs are any better. They're sitting on their costings like a poker player, bluffing with a 2 of hearts and a napkin. Both these mobs are acting like we're too stupid to notice they're just playing games with our future. And worse yet, they'll get away with it, because most of the media's too busy brown-nosing or chasing TikTok stories to hold them to account. Meanwhile, the IMF's warning us that we could lose our OIA credit rating. But nah, let's talk about who's better at cooking the books. The country's spiraling faster than a dodgy carnival ride, and our leaders are treating it like a bloody schoolyard slap fight. You got Jim Chalmers telling us the coalition's going to slash 41,000 public service jobs, but don't worry. Labor's just going to magically pocket $7 billion without anyone losing a gig. Fair dinkum? If you believe that, you probably think unicorns are real too. And can we just call out how bloody rich it is that Labor's suddenly against consultants? Mate, they've been sucking up to them for years. It's like a bloke who's lived on Macca's for a decade, suddenly lecturing you about clean eating. It doesn't pass the pub test, it doesn't pass the sniff test, and it sure as hell doesn't pass the bullshit detector. Now look, I don't care if you're Labor, Liberal, Greens, or you just vote for whoever shouts you a beer. You deserve better than this mob of polished turds trying to sell you the same old lies in a new shiny wrapper. Both sides are taking the piss, plain and simple. And if you think it's all going to magically get better after Election Day, mate, you might want to have another crack at reading the room. So, before you cop another speech about fiscal responsibility or growing the economy from some bloke who can't even answer a straight question, remember this moment. Remember who pivoted, who dodged, and who treated you like a bloody idiot. And maybe next time, let's not give them a free ride straight back into power without making them bloody sweat for it. If you're sick of the whole rotten show, don't just sit there like a stunned mullet. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and wear your Make Albo Great Again shirt proudly when the whole system inevitably falls in on itself. This ain't just politics, mate. This is survival. and it's going to get a whole lot messier before it gets better. Stay tuned.